Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well. Welcome, 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 welcome all. So, hey, we are the day after Thanksgiving. So I do hope that you all had a beautiful day yesterday with friends and family and loved ones and all the fanfare that you could basically handle. And if you chose to be a little bit more low key and more, to yourself and peaceful, I hope you had a great, peaceful, and tranquil day as well. So as you can see, we are talking about one of my favorite, part of my coupling or part of the duo, Nelly. So yeah, like look at here. This man, I tell you what, whatever sprinkle dust that he has on him for the propensity of winning, I need that on me, okay? Because this man here, boy, I tell you what, this has been a great year for him thus far. It's been a great year for him the last few years, actually. But yeah, so I've got some information that I came across and is sharing, and I thought, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and talk about it. And I love a good story that has a little bit of a win, at least to it. So why not, right? One of the things that has been so great, definitely about Nelly, and I have to also say Ashanti because I just love them two together, is all of the fun and greatness that they are opening their doors open to us to see. You know, we got to see both birthday parties, and boy, were they on 10. We got to go to Ashanti's Island for free, and they got to enjoy some laughs and all that great, wonderful stuff. And of course, Ashanti did her thing with Nelly's Big 50, which is definitely a blessing for those who were able to make it to 50, right? So yeah, so great to see all of the love and the family and all of that. And they both have beautiful families. They're both beautiful people, and they're just doing beautiful things. And I'm just so excited for them. So it looks like Nelly had another thing to add to that list for Thanksgiving of things that he could be thankful for, at least partially anyways, because I think this is going to obviously continue on as we get into the sharing. We'll see where we're going to probably be heading at after this particular, I guess, partial announcement it is. So with that, go ahead and sit back and let's relax, and let's go ahead and get into what's going on with Nelly and the fact that apparently 3 members of the St. Lunatics apparently pulled out of the lawsuit. You know, that lawsuit with the one for the royalties for the Country Grammar album. Yeah, really big splash that it made all over the internet for sure. And so now we've got some traction going in a direction, and now we'll see what else is going on. So let's go ahead and pop into it. And we are getting this sharing from Billboard.com. So apparently Nelly's fellow St. Lunatics pull out of lawsuit over Country Grammar's profits. So that is what we are hearing at the moment. So let's go ahead and get into it. So now, apparently 3 of the 4 members who filed the case against the rapper are now no longer involved, months after their attorney said it was filed without their consent. Now, 3 of Nelly's former St. Lunatic bandmates have now formally dropped out of a lawsuit seeking royalties from the rapper's breakout album, Country Grammar, 2 months after they said they hadn't wanted to sue him in the first place. Yikes. I just love technology. So now the lawsuit, which claims the Lunatics contributed to the album, but that Nelly cut them out of the credits, was first filed in September by Ali, and also formal name is Ali Jones. Now I'm not going to go through all of the actual names. We're just going to go through because I think they're pretty much so well known that you'll know who we're talking about. But again, was first filed apparently in September by Ali, Murphy Lee, Kejwan, and City Spud. Now, Kejwan and Spud quickly rebelled, saying they never consented to the lawsuit and demanded that they be removed from the case immediately. So oopsie, right? Because I mean, we did hear that apparently there was a little bit of an issue in how that was going to work out. Because if you had the opportunity, like I was so fortunate to do, and they actually done many more shows as well, but I actually went to the Spin the Block in April, and oh my gosh, it was a time to be had. I remember actually an interview that Nelly had did on The Real. That show is not on anymore, but it was a talk show. And basically he was asked, I think it was Lonnie Love that asked him, what can can you say about, seeing a concert, or seeing you in concert for one night? What would that mean to someone who's never seen you? And he said, it's going to be the best night you ever had. And if he ain't right, it's up there. It is up there. I will say in my life, maybe, I dare say maybe top 10, somewhere in there for sure. And that's saying a lot, right? Because, I've had a little bit of a lifespan here, and so therefore, but just to say that concert was everything. And if you had the opportunity to go out there and see it, leave it down in the comment section. Let me know, because I would so want to know how much you enjoyed it, and what you thought. Because the surprise on the Spin the Block, which was a nice little take off of, obviously the fanfare behind Ashanti and Nelly's rekindled romance, was the fact that he brought on, the St. Lunatics on stage as well to perform. And I don't think anybody knew that was happening. So that was a shocker. So it was like a party on party on party. And I love it. And I am so here for it. Anytime, I am here for it. So that did seem a little bit odd, that happens first, and then we hear months later about this lawsuit, and then wondering, well, how's that going to work out, when I've seen them performing on stage with him at random different times even since then. So apparently there was some issues, and some issues in far as exactly who wanted to be on, who did not want to be on, and so now it's all revealing itself. So let's go ahead and further go on into it. So now, apparently, in an updated version filed this past Friday, the lawyers behind the lawsuit finally did so, meaning the case is now a dispute between only Ali and Nelly. Now, in a statement to Billboard, Ali's attorney who filed the case, her name is Precious Felder Gates, said her client would continue to pursue the unpaid royalties he is entitled to. The sharing further goes on to say, where she shares, our client, Mr. Jones, is deeply committed to protecting his creative contributions and ensuring rightful compensation for his work, Felder Gates said. While others may have chosen to withdraw, his dedication to his artistic legacy and his rights as a creator remains unwavering. Now, for a little bit of historic nostalgia, apparently, as they were formed, it shares that a group of high school friends from St. Louis, the St. Lunatics, rose to prominence in the late 1990s with Gimme What You Got and their debut album Free City, released a year after Country Grammar was a hit of its own, reaching number 3 on the Billboard 200. Now, in their September 18 complaint, the bandmates claimed that Nelly had repeatedly manipulated them into falsely thinking they'd be paid for their work on the 2000 album, which spent 5 weeks atop the Billboard 200. Boy, was that a time to be alive. Anyways, but they said he never made good on those promises. Now, every time plaintiffs confronted defendant Haynes, he would assure them as friends he would never prevent them from receiving the financial success they were entitled to, the lawsuit reads. Unfortunately, plaintiffs reasonably believing that their friend and former band member would never steal credit for writing their original compositions did not initially pursue any legal remedies. But in early October, Lee, Kijwan, and Spud joined Nelly on stage for his performance at the American Music Awards, a seemingly strange move for jilted bandmates engaged in active litigation. And I would say, myself. But I think the rumors about that whole thing about releasing some of them had already started kind of being sprinkled around not too long after the initial thud of the lawsuit was provided. Now, days later, it made more sense because they apparently never wanted to sue Nelly. Now, as Billboard reported at the time, they're saying that a lawyer representing the trio had privately sent a letter just a week after the case was filed, warning the attorneys behind the case that Lee and Kiwan and Spud had informed them, that lawyer, that they did not authorize for the lawyers behind that case, right, to be included as plaintiffs. You want to take a gander at which lawyer they're talking about? I'll give you 2 seconds. Okay. They hereby demanding you remove their names forthwith in Scott Rosenblum. Remember what I told you on that last video that I did in regards to the whole casino arrest? I told you that man did not play about him. So basically, the letter was written by him, written by him, September 24th. And the letter, which was obtained by Billboard, stated all of that I just shared. Now, it also further says that failure to do so will cause them to explore any and all legal remedies available to them. Now, in Friday's updated lawsuit, the attorneys for Ali did just that, removing Lee and Kiwan and Spud from the list of plaintiffs. But they also included new substantiated allegations, or substantive, really, because they have to go through the process to get it substantiated. So, substantive allegations as part of their amended complaint. Now, in one major change, they added Harborview Equity Partners. You want to guess who they were? I'm going to tell you. They added that name or that company or partners to the list of defendants, citing Nelly's $50 million catalog sale to the company last summer, calling it a substantial transaction. And Ali's attorney suggested that the big deal helped spark the lawsuit. Now, at this juncture, it became apparent that notwithstanding defendant Haynes' repeated assurances, defendant would not fulfill his long-standing promises to compensate plaintiff. Ali's attorneys wrote. A representative for Harborview did not immediately return a request for comments on this past Monday, like literally a few days ago. So there you have it. Quite a bit going on there, I would have to say. Now, this is why I say it's a bit of a partial win, right? Because we have less individuals, at least initially, on the lawsuit, and particularly, his other band members, right? His bandmates from St. Lunatics, because it is awkward. And how are you guys able to perform? So I'm thinking that these things were already being talked about, obviously, in some sense of a quasi agreement, I guess, was being made in order for them to continue to do what they needed to do to stay on stage and, perform and just bring us all the great feels of our nostalgia that we all need so much of, and maybe even more now today than ever. So that was a great partial win. Now, we still are going to continue to see what's going to happen as far as Ali is concerned. Now, from what I have heard, and I have not dived in, I don't know what is the words. I have not actually done a deep dive into the situation between Ali and Nelly, but from what I get from there is that there's obviously some issues between the two and the considerations or thoughts of what one thinks that they should have been owed or due. So this seems like it's been an ongoing issue for quite some time. I did hear some speculations of possibly that maybe that there's a statute of limitation issue, but I guess we'll have to see now, since it seems like this lawsuit's still going forward, at least on Ali's behalf. And now that they're adding on the Harborview, it'll be interesting to see what goes on with that, and if there is any claim to touch that deal that Nelly was able to successfully complete. So we'll have to see how that all works out. I definitely want to know your thoughts on this, so definitely leave them down respectfully below. Do you think that this is a case that will continue on all the way to the bitter end? Do you think that potentially maybe it will end up being a wash because it has been so many years? I mean, we're talking Country Grammar came out in 2000. So, what are we, talking about at this point here? I do think adding that $50 million element to it now brings it into the future, or into commonplace, or whatever, into the here and now, versus litigating so much about what was a long time ago. So we'll just have to see how that all pans out. But I definitely would love to know your thoughts. I know that there was a lot of people that I've seen previously that had a lot to share about their feelings about this situation. So for sure, leave them down below respectfully. I would love to know your thoughts and, just your take on it all as a whole. But one thing I will say about, this man right here, because if anything works out on this front and they come to an agreement, I think that will be for the best, of course, but we'll have to see exactly what that agreement will be. And if there's something that can come of it. But, at the end of the day, Nelly is definitely winning, because I will say one thing, and I said this before, if winning was a person, it would be this guy. Really would be this guy. And I'm just happy and for it. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for the family. I'm happy for the new bundle of joy they have, the family as a whole, the legacy that they continue to put out there. And I just really honestly love to see people win. Now, look at here. Nelly's not going to mind. I'm going to go rogue here just for a minute, because I want to talk about that when it comes to the fact of being so excited about seeing somebody win. Because this is not only negated to celebrities, okay? This is negated to anybody. Right? For me personally, I enjoy so much to see when somebody has their aha moments. I talk about this so much. This is why motivation and inspiration and aspiration means so much to me, because I love to see people win. I love to see people figure things out and get on the other side of whatever that triumph is. I love to see people who actually put in the good work and do the good service and actually reap what they sow. Because make no mistakes, no matter which direction you go, whether for good or for not, you're reaping what you sow. It's just what it is. It's kind of like magic, right? Maybe sometimes there's no such thing as good magic or evil magic. It's really the intent about how it's used. So, there you go. That's something you may chew on too. But I'm sure some people who know more about that probably would have something more to say. But just to say, our intent is what is always the case that goes in alignment with that. And when you try to do good and you try to be there and you give and you provide service and you provide entertainment, and you provide respite and you provide all of these things that are helpful to your next fellow man or fellow woman, if you will, fellow person, that is always going to be a recipe for the good karma. It really is. And so, when I say that I love to see, all of the joys that they're opening up and sharing with us as fans of theirs, I just love it because I love to see people win. I love the aha moments. I love the times when they have the NFL drafts and you see right at that moment, just at that precipitous moment where they hear their name called, right? The player knows what team they're going and everybody's face just changes because they know right then in that moment, their life has changed forever and in the right direction. That is such a great, that gives me chills just thinking about it. So yeah, when I say I want some of their sprinkle dust, I sure do. So I can use that sprinkle dust to get my own wins in my own way. Because my goodness, this is so great. And I love to see it. And then of course, and to the events that we've already seen and have been so excited to watch, and we're still waiting on the baby pics, but we understand, truly understand. I personally don't think we're going to see that baby until he's 10. But that's just my thoughts. But I cannot wait to the black and white ball. Apparently, I believe they made the announcement for it. So I believe it's coming out December 15th this time around. So I'm going to be here for it. I may actually even dress up and will sit right in front of my phone and watch it all night long like I did the last time and have all the fun in the world because my goodness, anything that's good, I am here for it. I don't care what it is. I don't care who's doing it. As long as you are doing good and giving entertainment, I am here for it. So yeah, my goodness, like I said, if winning was a person, it'd be this guy right here. So that being said, I definitely want to know your thoughts. Please go ahead and leave them down below in the comment section. Let's have a conversation about it. I am so glad that you were able to hang out with me for a little bit here and get into it. And yeah, definitely, if you are new here and you haven't had a chance to hit the subscribe button, I wish that you would and be part of this family, be a part of the community. I would so love to have you. And for sure, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like. It allows us to spread it out more so more people can have conversation about it and more people can, can reach to. And I would so appreciate that as well. And of course, because I was so excited to share about my online shop, Motivation Sweet Elements, definitely a labor of love, but not even just a labor of love, right? It is something that was inspired and created for the thought of positive dialogue and empowering conversation with oneself. I feel that it's so important for us to have each and every day. Right? We have to be able to find ways whenever, especially in moments when it's trying for us, to be able to keep the good dialogue within ourselves. And so my shop has so many areas in which you can explore all the different things and pick yourself up some uplifting joy for you, your loved one, or that special friend, or whoever. And definitely don't forget about yourself. So as you can see through the virtual tour that I shared earlier in the video, we do have a Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale going on right now where you can get 15% off. You just want to make sure that you hit that promo code Mary15 in the checkout section, and then you click on the apply button right next to it, puts it right up there, and then you are good to go. Easy peasy. So the direct link, of course, is going to be down below in the description box. Also, the promo code is going to be down below as well, so you can go ahead and get right into there and get a peruse, take the full tour, and enjoy yourself. I really would appreciate that you do, because I want you to feel all the good feels no matter what you do, whether you purchase or not. I just want you to be able to get the good feels as well. So, but if you do, I would say thank you so much in advance, and I so appreciate your support for sure. But I have so many things out there. We've got apparel and drinkware and accessories to boot. I mean, it's just a lot to go and check a look out there. So definitely go out there and take advantage of the 50% off here for the Black Friday, Cyber Monday time frame. And definitely, again, get yourself some uplifting joy. And also, too, if you like additional savings, right? I do have a link for Rakuten down below. I enjoy going through Rakuten. I think it's great. It's a cashback shopping site for the most part. Basically, you get cash back off the things that you purchase, and they've got a plethora of stores there. If you're probably already familiar, but if you haven't had an opportunity, feel free to use my link down below and check it out and see what you can get. I think at this time they are actually running a promo where you can get $40 as a bonus if you spend $40, and that's on top of the percentages that you can get off from any of the stores that are available there. And they've got some great sales and great percentages back. And of course, you get cash back for these things. So, that stuff adds up for you. So definitely check it out. It's a great time, really, because there's so many options out there. So definitely, go ahead and take advantage of what's out there available. And if you do use my link down below, I thank you again in advance. So yeah, I think that about does it for this video. I thank you so much again for being here. Make sure you keep your all notification bells on, because I will have another video dropping probably later on this evening. And I would definitely love to get your thoughts about that, as well as I'm definitely going to share mine. So with that, I think I'm going to bid you adieu. I sure am. And I wish for you the best. Of course, I hope that you do make it back for that next video as well. But again, keep that all notification bells on so that way you don't miss the future uploads, even beyond the one that I'll be dropping next. Okay. So with that being said, thank you again for being here. You be safe, you take care, and be blessed. And until next time, bye.